SMT Nation, we back. Nation, I want to give a big shout out to two folks here. My friend who sent me these images, and also friend of the channel, Dennis, for stating something on the podcast the other night that was really important. He mentioned airports. So I have some airport testing for you guys here today that was shared from my friend. He's headed out of town, and he stopped in Chicago Airport at Midway, and he shared these speed tests with me. So I'm going to share them with you, and let's discuss how the networks are performing from each of the big three. All right, now I do want to mention that omitted from this testing is Dish. The native Dish network would not connect. So in that instance, because it's not voice over NR or the network's not available, it would default you probably to AT&T. But anyways, let's take a look at the results here. All right, so pictured here is Verizon. I don't know exactly what he was connected to. The ping's a little high, the jitter's a little high, but the speeds are there. All right, 5G UW, like I said, I don't know if it's C-band or millimeter wave. I'm going to lean towards C-band, but I'm not really sure, can't confirm. 323 megs down and 24 up. So we got enough capacity holding up nicely for the folks at the airport. Here is your AT&T test. This is 5G plus. All right, 369 megabits down, 39.5 up. This connection seems much more stable than the Verizon one, even offering a little bit more throughput, but good capacity, plenty good for the folks there at the airport. Now, where things got a little dicey was the 5G you see from T-Mobile. Now, I will say it is on Metro, so there is a possibility that this is being throttled. Possibly, I don't know. I don't know how many gigs of data he used, and if that exceeded that threshold and it impacted the throughput. But 16 megs down and 0.71 on the up. I do see some pretty bad loaded latencies there. The jitter is pretty high and the ping's high, right around the same as Verizon was. But the throughput just isn't there. Now, some of the things that I know about this airport after doing some digging and asking some questions to some folks, you will see that Verizon does indeed have millimeter wave. I don't know if he was able to connect to it or not. Maybe it was defaulting to the neighboring macro or something like that. I don't know. But also AT&T does have the Wi-Fi service there. You guys know those passport connections that they have? That's available over here too. So just some insights I want to share with you guys, because there was an article that was published a few weeks ago about fastest carriers at airports, and T-Mobile was the fastest one at like 20 or 30 airports. They still got things they got to figure out here apparently, because this particular test doesn't give me confidence that it would hold up throughout the heavy usage times of the day. Now, in and of itself, would this be enough at that moment in time? Probably. I think 16 meg downlink would be fine, but I could see a version of a video call failing with an unstable connection like that, and an uplink that's sub 1 megabit per second. So they need some support there. They need some additional solutions. There's DAS systems at airports. There's Wi-Fi systems at airports. There's millimeter wave solutions. These are the things you have to do at airports, because you got people getting off a plane where they probably weren't using their phone cellularly for connectivity in a lot of instances. So they get off the airplanes, and they start using their phones heavily, whether it's downloads or it's hailing a ride or, starting their productivity, whatever. They rely on a data connection. So this probably isn't enough from T-Mobile. So they've got to, throw some money, I think, at some solutions over there at Midway, and they can kind of make their network a little bit more resilient in this particular setting. Have you guys ever been to this airport? Have you used T-Mobile there, Verizon or AT&T? What are they like there? Tell me about your experiences, and then maybe chime in, tell me about your local airport or airports that you visited in which you got to test some of the different carriers and see how they did. In general, who seems to serve the airports the best? Your experiences, thoughts, and opinions on this down in the comment section. Love to hear what you have to say on this. You're all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.